Ladies and gentlemen, it's another round of Master Phil in your corner. With Master Phil.
Woo! How's everybody doing there today? This is Master Phil with Master Phil in your corner with none other than my partner in crime, Dougie Fresh Friedman, here at the Undefeated Media Studios.
Thank you, thank you.
And before we get on to our subject and our extremely lovely and talented guest, we're going to do my shameless plugs.
Absolutely.
And Doug, if I forget anything, please let me know.
You got it.
All right. We do have the Body Bell Method certification,
100%.
right? And training course. Learn how to get certified right from your own home in kettlebells, body weight, and dynamic tension. We also have American Eagle Live, where we're sharing martial arts and fitness videos from our Facebook page. In addition to that, we have Survival Strong, the course, certification, and book, all available at philross.com. And I'm also on UBQ Fit, the new platform for fitness and gamification. And that's coming out. We already got a ton. I think it's over 7,000 hits. We haven't even advertised it yet. So it's going to be not 7,000 hits, 7,000 subscribers already.
Wow, way.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be huge. Next month or so, it's going to really kick in. But did I forget anything, Doug?
What'd you do this morning? We didn't tell everyone what you did this morning.
Okay.
Let's pull that up while we're pulling things up.
All right.
Where is it here?
Every morning, 50 squats, 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10 bridges. Today I threw some other stuff in. I usually do my neck. I don't talk about that much, but I do four-way neck, and then I did some dynamic tension.
Nice.
Yeah, I did power prayers and bicep tricep battle and floor levers. Pretty cool stuff. Nice. All done right in your own home. And you can do this anywhere. All you need is a floor. And most places that people go have floors. So, usually,
Most of the time.
Yeah, usually pretty good. So, is it now time to introduce our guest?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, in the studio today, we have the extremely lovely and talented Chantalle, Luberto. And what we're going to talk about today, folks, is rescues, rescue dogs, rescue animals. And Chantalle has founded an organization called Buddies Rescue, correct? Oh, excellent. Well, Chantalle, take it away. Tell us what's going on. You know that I'm into the rescues big time. I came out with the video on Lulu a couple of weeks ago, and I know it's
yeah.
And I know that's what basically got you here, was seeing that video and said, hey, you know what? Let's spread out the word, get it out to the airwaves, many people as possible.
So Buddies Rescue, I started with my brother about 4 or 5 years ago. We began rescuing cats behind our house. There's a bank behind our house. We started pulling in just stray cats, getting them neutered, spayed, because, they migration and everything.
Sure.
So we were like, why not start our own animal rescue? We might as well. We're already rescuing hundreds of cats. So we started our own 501c3 Buddies Rescue. We have such a passion together for these animals because they give you and teach you such pure love, and they want nothing in return.
Let me ask you something. I mean, you're 100% on point with all of that. But now, how did you get the funding for that? I mean, that's not easy.
Oh, it is not easy. And, people always say they help, but no one ever donates. Yeah. I mean, people do, but not to what people think that people are donating. So everything is out of pocket. So it's very difficult. So we can, at the beginning, we were only able to pull animals when we had the funds, which is heartbreaking because we want to rescue everyone. But it's only, money's everything, and it limits you. So we were like, what the heck? So we flew to Texas together, which was probably a bad idea. Our parents wanted to kill us. I was like, Dad, we're going to Texas. He's like, why? I'm like, well, we're bringing back 75 dogs.
Only 75?
Only 75. I know, right? Small. But that wasn't the plan. We were going to go down. We had dogs already listed because you get emails sent to you, which is heartbreaking, of who's on the euthanization list.
Right. Now, this is explain to people. There are some that are live shelters and other that are kill shelters. Explain to people the process here that goes on. Like, how long does a dog have when they get put into a kill shelter?
this is what's so sad is even shelters that aren't kill shelters, when they have no room, I'm not speaking for all of them, but there are a good majority that give the dog to a kill shelter to make space. And I'm not speaking for all of them because a lot of them are great shelters. But for those kill shelters, and I've met so many people that wait in line to give their dog to the kill shelter. So, I mean, what I had to do in Texas, let's just say for an example, is I'd go online and I'd say, hey, can you meet me across the street? Because you can't do it in the shelter. And I'd say, can you give me your dog? Because if you don't give me your dog and you give it to them, they hold the dog for 48 hours. And then they examine the dog, temperament, health, if it's adoptable. If it's not a puppy and it's not healthy and it's not adoptable, that dog's getting put down in 48 hours.
Boom, right there.
And it goes in a line. So I walk this line. It goes, you have first row, second row, third row, then euthanization row.
Wow.
And they just keep them going, keep them moving because they get so many dogs that get put in. Yeah. So I was taking people's dogs from them across the street. I had to walk up these lines and pick and choose who I wanted to save. Hi, baby.
Lulu's on the set, baby.
She's like, yes.
Squirrel out there.
Speak for us.
That's
other guest,
my Lulu.
And real quick, I just want to make sure everyone can get to your website correctly. It's Buddies Rescue, BUDDYSRESCUE.com.
Inc.com, yes.
Inc.com. There we go.
Yes.
So check that out, guys. There you go.
All right. Now, so this whole process, it could be just a 48-hour window, and then that dog is gone. Now, there's a lot of different issues coming into one. One is, how do we prevent these dogs from getting to this point? Like, people bring these dogs, they get these dogs, and then they want to get rid of them. How do we stop that? And the other thing is, how do we divert to a non-killing shelter and get these dogs and cats into loving homes? I mean, that's an heck of an undertaking.
That's the question of life with this. And when people adopt from us, I put themselves in these shoes. I say, let's say you're adopting a child, an actual human child. In a few years, when it's not a baby anymore and it's an adult, and you're battling with the kid and whatnot, and it's getting tough, would you say, you know what? I don't really have time for this kid anymore. I'm going to give it back, or I'm going to go throw it into somebody else's arms or into a shelter. Would you do that to your kid? That's what I ask every adopter. And they say, well, that you put it that way. No, I wouldn't get rid of my kid. I said, that dog, cat, whatever you're rescuing, that's your kid. So I wouldn't, throw it into a shelter or give it to, some random person on the street. That's your child. So I try to put that in my adopter's mind, and I'm very careful with who I give our rescues to because they're my children.
Yes.
The adopters are the step parents in this scenario. But stopping them from going into the kill shelters, I mean, definitely down south too, people leave them out on the lawns. They're not spayed. They're mating with strays on the streets. And then that's how, that intake happens. So it's definitely a difficult process, but it can be done. People just really need to get it through their heads that these are their kids. These animals are pure. You can't abuse them. You can't just throw them away.
So let me get this straight. You want people to have personal responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. Kooky notion.
Yeah.
Personal responsibility.
So Debbie just commented, she believes rescue centers should go to assemblies at school and teach the young about, what's going on.
Wow,
I totally do agree with that. That's a great, Debbie, that's great.
That's some great input.
The young definitely, and I love when families have children with the rescues, as long as the rescue is okay with children, because sometimes, there's triggers. So I always make sure the family is good with the kid has been around dogs, because sometimes a big dog may knock your kid over and they think the dog's aggressive.
Right.
And that's how they get euthanized. So I'm always saying, is your kid around dogs? You got to be careful. So I think educating the young, they're the future. So they're going to know how to love, that pure love from the animal, and how they're raised from inside the home with the animals is really what it comes down to. So I think that's a great idea, Debbie.
Debbie also just said that she went to school with you. So there you go. She says, hey, Phil, I went to school with you. So Debbie Mason McWilliams.
Oh, Mac Williams. Hey, Debbie, how are you?
Can't wait.
All right.
So Debbie's joined us today.
Actually, we just connected on Facebook recently.
Nice. And that brings us to, we are live, guys. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you could put them in the comment section. We will answer them live right now. And if you really want to come on the show, send me a link, a private message, and I can send you the link, and you can come on live and talk to us as well.
Yeah,
We want to be very interactive. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
extremely. Well, that's we look to please here. We look to have an open forum. Chantalle, so when you first started Buddy's Rescue,
Yes.
and you took these 75 dogs, what did you do with them? I mean, that's a lot of dogs.
My mom's shaking her head right now. So half of them in our house. No, I'm kidding. So one of the most difficult parts of rescuing, besides picking out who's going to live and whatnot, which is you really have to grow tough skin for that and have that mentality of going and saying, okay, this is, I mean, my brother had to step out several times because you're just waterworks. So one of the most toughest times is definitely transportation.
Yeah.
The rescue world is a very tight knit. They don't work with random rescues that come in. They don't work with random people. And now that we've been around, I've met some amazing people, especially down south. We work with Antigua very closely too. That's one of our rescue partners.
Yeah, that's another thing. You go to some of these third world countries, you see dogs.
That's another story I'll tell you.
Isn't there an island?
What
Puppy
happened?
Island? There's like an island.
That's in Puerto Rico, are you talking about? And
I
you just
guess.
let your dog go because you don't want it anymore, and they run free.
Yeah, run free.
They let them free. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm getting angry. I'm like hitting my mic.
Doug, stay back.
Stay back. So transportation. So we had to set up transportation, and you have to get, trust people.
Yeah, I mean,
for this.
transportation of 75.
It's
dogs,
done in
I mean,
groups, yes.
yeah.
So we have homes that I love when people aren't picky about the dog they want to rescue. One of my pet peeves, and I'm so sorry to people out there because I do understand, is when you have a specific breed in mind and you want it full bred as a rescue. I'm not finding that on the street.
Yeah.
Very rare do I find that on the street. If you want a rescue to love and bring into your home, become part of your family, awesome. But so transportation, you get them there. And I already have adopters that adopt prior to even meeting the dog.
Okay.
Which
So this is a process. I mean,
it is a process.
So you contacted this kill shelter in Texas.
Yes.
And then how long was it before you went there? Now and I'm saying, like, in that interim where you were obviously contacting people. Hey, I got this. I got Roscoe over here. I got Daisy over here, and you're trying to match these dogs up before you bring them up.
Yes. It's a huge process. It definitely takes a toll and a couple of years off your life from doing it all. But it's something that my brother and I really, really love. It makes us whole. So I put 100% into this. So I got to learn and meet all these dogs and their personalities. And when you've been around dogs for a while, you learn them pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
You could pick up what kind of family they need. And then I'm very good at, reading people and their energy. So I faced, especially during now, because you can't meet people, I FaceTime them. And I make sure they're good with FaceTime. And I could read you right off the bat, off of the FaceTime, if you're going to be a good family or not.
Excellent.
Yes, because that's so important to me. And if you're not, I tell you right there, because a lot of rescues leave you hanging. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to work. Sometimes you got to be honest. Next. So I definitely pair up the rescues with the homes when they're ready to be adoptable, because a lot of these rescues, and I mean, if Ashley's watching this, his name was Scotty. His name's Jazz now. He's the absolute love of my life. He's an Australian cattle dog.
Such a cool dog.
Such a good dog. So smart. But he definitely was not adoptable at the time. Bit everyone.
I say they're tough. They're very tough dogs.
Tough, but it's amazing how he knew I was rescuing him. He would not leave my side. I could walk around New York City with him without a leash.
Yeah.
And he's coming from Texas. Would not leave my side, would show his teeth at everyone that even came near me, which, I mean, I personally did not mind. I felt very safe.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I worked with him, just like the other dogs. There was another dog, Jack, that my mom would visit every day we kept him in we worked very close with a bunch of like boarding places, but they're good to their dogs.
Okay, so when you contacted this shelter in Texas, and then what, did it take a month, 2 months, 3 months,
No,
6
so
months, a year? I don't know, to get all these 75 dogs up? I mean, I know you didn't just go down there with a Winnebago and a trailer and throw everybody in there and take a
Listen, don't tempt me because I probably would. No, so you contact these shelters, and if they have adopters that are viewing them, they take them before a rescue because it's money.
Sure.
And it's a business. I mean, as much as we don't want to say that, a lot of these shelters, rescues, it's a business. So they put us on the back burner. So I have these dogs lined up. Once the adopter falls through, if it doesn't work, they're part of our rescue. So we had to fly down to Texas within 3 days of calling the shelter, because otherwise they let them go and they get euthanized or they go somewhere else. So it was quick. And we had rented 3 vans. We were going to drive cross country because we weren't planning on 75 dogs. We had like 20 dogs in mind that we wanted. So we had 3 vans already rented down there, ready to go. We were going to drive cross country with all these dogs because we've done it before. And we fly with dogs too. So, I mean, we fly them back and forth because I don't trust people. So I do it myself. It's just quicker. It's easier. So we go down there and we end up getting 75. We find a vet that really helped us out, bring them to the vet, but we had to do it in breaks.
Yes.
I needed to like hide for a month after this, by the way, from like everyone, all life, because it was just it was so, dramatic. So we contacted transporters, and what happened was it took a good month to get the dogs here because we had to do it in periods.
Stages. Sure.
Of course, because these transporters, it takes like 2 to 3 days to get here because there's so many dogs that they have to walk, they have to feed, it's dangerous. And transportation is when the rescues actually get sick. Because, I mean, they're peeing on one another if it's not clean. And if one is sick and I haven't gotten taken care of yet, the rest of them are. So it's definitely a process. And then when they come to Jersey, we bring them to the vet again, get them spayed if they're not, get them neutered if they're not completely up to date on health. We work with boarding facilities that help us, don't really cost much.
So now you got them, they're here now. You got 75 dogs sitting at your house.
They come they come in numbers though. It's not all like at once.
So you have a caravan of dogs. And then where did you put all of them?
So the ones that could not, I have fosters that help me. I'm so thankful for all of them. They're in the city, they're in Jersey. Wonderful, wonderful people that really take the time out of their day to foster because they don't have the time to have a dog themselves, but they have the time at least to help me with fostering. So make sure I pair them up with the right ones. It's great I don't really like fosters, to be quite honest, because it's like Lulu getting attached to you for a month and then I have to break her away from you into another family. It's even more dramatic.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't do that. If I was a foster, I'd just be keeping them all.
Foster failure.
How do they give them up? Once you have them? I'm not giving her up.
No. And it's heartbreaking for the dog. So I try to avoid that part, but I had to do it for this one. So fosters for the dogs that you couldn't even look at because they would attack, let's just say, because that's what they're used to. I'd put them in boarding, and I had trainers, rescue trainers though. There's a lot of dog trainers out there, but when they meet a dog and they claim they're aggressive, no dog's aggressive. I really don't believe in aggression. It's just how the dog was raised, as if a kid was raised. And you could train that right out of them with love. It just takes patience that people don't have for them.
Yep, that's the thing.
So it's the thing. So I had trainers working with them in the boarding facility, and when they were adoptable, I had families already lined up. So half the dogs already had homes because a lot of them were puppies, and then the older ones that had a lot of triggers, I had to work with for a few. But I had fosters and boarding places that helped me a lot.
So now these specific rescue trainers. I know there's different training modalities, different training schools. They go to a specific school for this type of training, or? So
one rescue trainer that I absolutely adore is Sam Gonzalez. He really helped me with Scotty and with Jack a lot because Jack hated it's not that he hated other dogs. He was fighting other dogs. So he didn't understand them. He was more scared than wanting to attack them. He didn't want to get attacked.
Right.
So he was guarding himself. And Sam told me, I remember there was this one trainer who wasn't a rescue trainer and said, you need to put him down. He's aggressive. And I said, I just went through hell to rescue him. Why would you even say that? I'm out once you say that. And Sam goes, no, he's the kindest, most gentlest dog. He's just scared. So he really, really helped me learn how to read a dog because they speak a completely different language than we do. So he really helped me understand them.
You know, it's a book that you might want to read. You maybe read it already. It's called Beyond Obedience.
No, I need to read that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I forget the author's name, but
I'll plug it up.
Yeah, pull it up. she's a little offbeat in the beginning. She's like talking to squirrels and stuff. But it's not so much, teach your dog sit, heel, come. It's about developing that bond.
Yes.
And that trust. I mean, you see Lulu and I right now. I've only had her 4 months, and she knows the deal already. I mean, I say stuff to her. Sometimes I don't even have to say anything to her. I look at her already, and she'll know what I want. It's about that bond, and it's not about I am the master. Even though I am Master Phil. It's like I am the master. You are my subject. No, it's like you're forming a friendship, the companion. She's my pal, man. She's my companion.
Your best friend.
Yeah, she is, and we hang out. And it's about putting that mindset into play.
And I had
April Forced,
right?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I
That's
need
it.
to
Here it
get
is.
that.
Yeah, it's an interesting book. It's a
There you
lot
go,
of
guys.
stories and anecdotes and so forth. And I've read it twice. I read it years ago, and now I read it again when I picked up Lulu.
I have to read that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But going off of what you just said, I actually had this conversation with my friend last night at dinner because she adopted a dog, Nola, from me.
Mhm.
And, this kid had her for 4 years, 3 or 4 years. She was inside the house 24/7. He was never home. That's another thing I always ask my adopters. Years from now, are you still going to have time for the dog?
Right.
Because would you have time for your kid? Do you have time for yourself? And those are important because they're attached to you within a month, within 2 months, depending on the dog and what they've been through, of course.
2 days with this one.
So imagine like 3 to 4 years and he goes, I don't want her anymore. I mean, I'm glad he gave him to us rather than to a shelter, but the dog cried the entire way to the foster that I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot with dogs, but she broke my heart from that because I felt her pain.
Yeah.
And my friend adopted her from us and it's the best family in the entire world. I'm so happy. But we were talking about this last night and I said, you can either instill trust or fear. And it's either respect or fear.
Yes.
The dog either respects you or they fear you. And if they fear you, they're going to turn on you because that loyalty is not there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have mutual trust and respect for one another, totally different bond than if you have fear for one another.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's because when they respect you, that breeds a loyalty. Once you have that loyalty, they'll do anything that you want them to. Another thing that sometimes people do, and one of the mistakes they make when training a dog, is they let the dog get away with everything. Okay, dogs are pack animals. You have to be the leader. If you're not the leader, you're the follower, and then they're running the show, and you can't have that. Like I crate my dogs. Okay, they're used to. I say kennel, and do they not like it at first? No, but guess what? It becomes their security blanket.
Their safe space.
Their safe space.
I always say that.
Yep. And I gave some tips to a guy down the shore with his dog. I swear, in 2 days the dog was fine. Just happened. His dog. Oh man, it's waking up 6:30 in the morning, barking. I'm like, listen, pal, do something here. I'm on vacation. So you have to establish that type of relationship with your dog.
Yeah.
So real quick, because we touched base upon it, then we went on a couple other tangents. I'm sure you hear it all the time. You said it before. People are looking for certain breeds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm very well could be wrong. But when you're looking for a pedigree or a purebred, whatever, aren't those the dogs because they've been bred the same way in these bloodlines for years? Aren't they the dogs that have more issues, more problems, more?
100%. That brings me back to Scotty, who's now Jazz. There's so many names that these dogs go through. Full bred Australian cattle dog. And he probably has more issues than a mixed breed because these purebreds, and breeders are the worst. I'm so sorry if you're a breeder, but breeders are the worst. Puppy mills, these rescues need to really, move quicker, move faster, like me and my brother do, because people sometimes get turned away. I mean, if you're not a good family, totally get it. But if you're a good family and you're getting turned away, they go to breeders because it's just easy. They don't care who they're giving the dog to. But those dogs that are being, bred, they get thrown into the kill shelters. So I do find pure breeds, but I don't find golden doodles. That's a number one dog that I get requested is a golden doodle. I'm like, I don't have that on the street. Not a street dog, but definitely have more issues. Yes.
Lulu's here today.
She has a lot to say.
We gotta get another microphone.
What do you have to say about that?
Right?
I think she wants to go out. You take her out to the bathroom? I know you got to go out, don't you? She lets me know. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll do business.
What a
She
good
wants to go
girl.
out. She's such a good. It's
Oh.
so funny. She just.
I got to go.
She wants to go out, man. She'll let you know. She's a trip,
Good
that
girl.
dog, man. So the thing is that what happens generally with pure breeds. Listen, I've had pure breeds before.
Mhm.
Again, nothing against it. But if you have a specific job for a dog, you need that specific type of breed. I understand that. Like
100%.
you're a hunter. I mean, I see you're a hunter. You want to get a hunting dog. I mean,
Mhm.
can you train other dogs to hunt? Yeah, but you have a pointer and you like a pointing dog. I mean, they do it naturally. It's crazy, and people have to understand that dogs were. Every dog is created by humans by breeding and breeding and breeding for a certain job, a certain proclivity, a certain characteristic that this animal has. And then what people want to do is they want to expand on that and get that as part of the breed. So whether it's a look, a job, whatever it is, they keep breeding and breeding and breeding. And the problem is that when you have that, you wind up with a lot of inbreeding. When you have inbreeding, you have certain flaws that go generational. Boxers, they're going to die from some type of cancer or tumor. German Shepherds, hips, labs, elbows, knee joints. The list goes on and on and on and on. I mean, some of these dogs are so big and have been overbred so much that you don't even buy them. You basically rent them. And it leads me to believe that, hey, what, should this breed be in existence? And the only reason it's in existence is because people have made them that way. Whereas a dog to me is just a great companion and friend.
Yeah.
Again, unless you want something specifically for hunting, but I think you can train just about any dog to
You
hunt.
really can.
But that's my point, is that you'll have these families that are looking for a beagle or a boxer and they just want that. It's like, all right, like say go to the rescue and find something that connects with you. You don't have to like find a specific breed just so you look in your family photo.
Right. I mean, look, when we got Lulu, we're looking around at the pet finder and then we went to the pity party rescue and and I honestly, I chose her because nobody wanted her. She was there for 9 months in a 4x4 cement, but nobody wanted her because she's mouthy, there's a mouthy biting, and plus she had been severely abused.
Mhm.
And not everyone's equipped to do that. I'm not saying, I mean, like I put myself out there with her, but as you can see, obviously I can handle her and we have a great relationship. But not everyone can do that. But hey, there's a lot of great dogs out there that don't have her problems, but they need to be rescued. They need that. And hey, if you want to spend money, then it makes you feel better, then give a lot of money to the shelter. I mean,
Yeah. Something else. Do something.
Yeah, because some of these dogs, I mean, heck, some of these dogs you buy are $1,500, $2,500, $3,500.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It's crazy. And then our rescue dog's like $200.
Right.
Just to cover half of that, half of what the rescue goes
No,
through.
that's not even.
It doesn't even make it dent.
Now, what is your facility like now? Do you have an actual facility?
No.
No.
And it's honestly, so what we do, I guess I should say yes.
Okay.
So we have a rescue partner, St. Mutt's. My friend Brittany, who I absolutely love, she is a medical student out in Antigua. And yes, she's from Texas. She lives with her boyfriend in Miami, but she's in Antigua for medical school.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was out there, there's a bunch of stray dogs because these island dogs, they don't see dogs as we see dogs. So they're throwing things at them so that they can't get food. They're wild out there.
Feral.
Feral, yes. But let me tell you, I'll tell you the best rescues that we've ever had. One of them, I have to say. So what she does out there is she'll feed the mamas or feed the wild dogs, gain their trust, because that's how you gain their trust, is if you feed them, leave them alone. You know where they are. And the mamas started leading her to her babies because she knew that she could help her. They're not dumb. They're very, very smart, So she would either have to stalk them out or the mama would lead her. Mm-hmm. So she would get the babies as young, and she has a whole facility out there of helpers that help her. raise them. She sends me pictures of them. I'll even fly out there and meet the dogs so that I know them, work with her to, help her with the dogs so that they're socialized, because they're terrified of humans. They come here and they're in a bush, literally dive into a bush, and they only know Brittany's voice or my voice, let's just say, or my brother's, but nobody else. So I tell all these families, these are the type of rescues that you need the patience for. Some of them come here and they're outgoing because they're babies, but the older ones, you need patience. They're going to be hiding in your bush for a good 2 months, and then they just snap out of it. So she has a facility out there where we bring the dogs into, feed them, socialize them, work with them, and then we have to fly them into Miami and get them transported up here.
Wow.
So yeah, because there's only one airline that really helps us out.
What's it called? Canine Air?
No. I wish there was that. They should come out with that. So, I guess that's kind of a facility right now. So that's what we're doing right now. That's our mission right now, is Antigua dogs, because there's a bunch of them out there, and they're beautiful. There's a lot of rot mixes out there.
I'm sure
hound
pits,
mixes.
hounds.
Oh, poor pit bulls. Yeah, they get the worst rep, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
They're the best dogs.
Well, actually, I will tell you why. Okay? This is one man's opinion. Well, first of all, pound for pound, they're the toughest dog on the planet. There are, even them going against a Kuvas, which is, I don't know that dog has like a 550 pounds per square inch bite. It's crazy.
Doors locked, Phil.
Oh, doors locked. Oh, hold on.
You should have enough. You should have enough. You should have enough.
Enough wire.
Enough wire.
All right. Let me get off on that.
Oh God! Oh yeah, it's all. Yeah.
We got all kinds of wire here.
Hey, it's better than the tornado episode. So the tornado hit 2 weeks ago. We had no internet. We had to pack up everything, go to Phil's dojo. The mics weren't snapping to the tables. We had duct tape, chewing gum,
Wire.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy. But you know what? We had a great show.
Great show.
Yeah. But so anyway, so I'm getting back to the pit bulls. Now, one thing with the pit is they're extremely loyal, very dedicated, and extremely tough, and they're basically the best athletes of the dogs. They have an incredible amount of drive. A pit bull, if they're trained to fight and so forth, they will, with a broken leg, whatever, they'll charge across the pit at another animal. The thing is, though, they're so loyal, they'll do anything that their owner tells them to do. And they're so powerful that they can pull it off. So you couple those two together, if they get in the hands of the wrong person, the wrong handler, they're going to be a bad dog.
Yeah.
And this is what happens with pits. Look, this is my third one. Okay. They're incredible dogs. I would definitely recommend that you get a pit. You don't have to get one that's been through hell like mine has, but get one that's younger. There's tons of pit bull puppies available.
Yeah.
Tons. And they get that terrible rap. And hey, they have short hair, right? It doesn't get all over the place. And they're extremely loyal, and they love their family more than anything. Back in the day, they were considered the nanny's helper, where they would watch over the babies.
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. And it just leads back to people giving them a bad rep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, remember, personality travels down the lead.
Yeah.
So, if you're being a jerk,
your dog's gonna be a jerk. Every dog, it looks like and acts just like their owner. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So if you haven't seen the video we did with Lulu, definitely check it out. I feel another video is about to come your guys' way as well. But it's a great video. It's all about Lulu and her story. So definitely check it out. We'll when this is done, we'll put a link in the description. But it's about her story and how these pit bulls are getting a bad rap. And like Phil says in the video, everyone thought that when the Michael Vick issue happened and that was done, that dog fighting was done as well. It's going on. It's happening right underneath our noses in Bergen County. Yeah. And you got Lulu in Newark.
I got Lulu in Newark, and I got my guy prior to her, Coco. He was from Patterson, and we also placed a dog from Patterson as well. His name was Tito. He was another pit. So my wife's involved somewhat in that. And that's, she loves the pit bulls and the pit bull rescue and all that kind of stuff. So, look, and the thing is, don't think like you have to save every dog in the world. Okay, I know that maybe you want to. I know
that's what she's doing.
Right.
It takes years off your life.
But the thing is, and not everybody's equipped for that. Like, not everybody's equipped to handle a dog like this. I am. Okay. And if you look at the other things I do, I teach self-defense. I teach my martial arts and so forth, and I spread the word that way. I'm equipped for that. I have that skill set. Not everyone has it, but guess what? Can you do a little bit to help out? Yeah. Every little bit helps. Don't feel like you got to save the world. Just try to save one piece of it.
Yeah.
Try to, carve it up. And if you got enough people pitching in and helping out and saving a piece here and a piece there, all of a sudden, we're doing pretty good.
A little bit goes such a long way.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. Like, hey, you want to give, so give $10 to a rescue, or heck, adopt a dog. I mean, you know what? You want to get some exercise? Adopt a dog and take it for a walk twice a day.
It gets you moving.
It gets you moving. I mean, we go for a half hour to clip twice a day. And I use that for my head too, because my head is all over. So
they save us too. A lot
Yes.
of my adopters say, I didn't save her. She saved me.
Yep.
And and I'm like, she's like, you saved her. She saved me.
Exactly. And the thing is that if you look at the relationship between dogs and humans, it goes back years and years and years. Actually, dogs contributed to the ability for humans to survive. We would not have advanced as far as we had. Maybe we would have all perished if we didn't have the dog with us. There was a movie made.
Alpha, I was just about to say.
Alpha Dog.
Great movie.
Yeah,
I think it's just called Alpha. Let me check.
Alpha. Yeah, there's and the book is great book. It's a great book.
Okay, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
It's new too. It's 2018.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read the book in, I think maybe 2016, 2017. I read the book and I'm like, and all of a sudden I said, oh wow, there's a movie. And it came out. And it was
I have to watch that.
Yeah, you really have to watch it. And it
It's a good
shows
one.
how humans evolved with the dog. It was a wolf and then got domestic. And,
Don't give away the movie, Phil. It's a great
There's
movie.
a lot more. It
There's a lot.
really is a great movie. And actually, in accordance with the book, they did a pretty good job. I wasn't disappointed in the movie. Usually, you read the book and then you see the movie like, oh, they missed so much.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a great job on producing this movie.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, look, dogs and humans. That's why when people do something against a dog, it really gets to me.
Oof.
Because we owe them. And when something loves and trusts you like that and you abuse it, just like the same thing with pedophiles, I have zero tolerance. Being the way I am, it really infuriates me. But, the only way to really beat this is through love and through understanding.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we'd like to do bad things to bad people, we have this thing called laws and we have to respect that or we, lose society completely. Let's go say hi.
But yeah, and I feel like these are the issues that we should be focusing on. We're not going to go down this path, but these are the issues that we should be focusing on, not the stuff that we're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animals.
not going to go down.
I mean,
that
all
path.
animals, not just dogs. They're
No.
angels,
Yeah. Yeah.
They're angels on earth that watch over us, and we take that as we abuse it.
Yep.
People really take that to full advantage because they can't speak, because they can't act for themselves in a way. People take advantage of that and they abuse that power. People abuse power in all areas, especially with animals, because they feel strong, they feel powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, you're really just powerless. That makes you look even worse because you're taking control of something that can't speak up for itself.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to me too when I see
They're real
it.
tough there.
Yeah. Especially something that just wants to love you. I mean, dogs just want to love people.
That's it.
She was abused in a pit. She was bred. She was beaten. And you see her, all she wants to do is crawl in my lap, And she just wants to hang out and just show love and be loved. And, that's something that we really have to be mindful of. And look, I know there's a lot of things going on right now. We have like a lot of craziness going on in the world with pandemics and politics and all kinds of things happening. But look, we're still humans, and we have to maintain this. And if we start focusing on doing these good things, better things will happen.
Yeah.
This is something that needs to be done. You know, we got to start protecting these animals. We have to start doing the right thing. And, you know, don't turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Don't turn a blind eye. You know?
People need to learn compassion. And it brings it back to what Debbie had said about young people, young kids learning that from rescues.
Yes.
I learned so much love from these dogs, from these rescues. I learned so much from them. They've taught, people just took the patience to sit there and listen to them. You don't need words to learn something. It's all in action. It's all in energy that they put towards you. And if people just learn that compassion and that pure love, things would be so different.
And you know, the thing is that once you start getting exposed to it and putting yourself out to it and being open to it, it tends to open up your heart and your mind. So what we want to do is let people know how they can get involved. So tell us what else you're doing and how people in the audience can get involved. Get involved today.
I mean, in rescuing, shelters really need help because these are people who are volunteering, and some of them are good and some of them don't have that compassion for animals. They just want to have a job and get it done. And a lot of abuse comes from within a lot of shelters as well.
So how can we discern, you know, which is a good shelter, which
You'll
is not?
Never know. I don't. Yeah. I think I just went in there at the right time and I watched it.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, but I'm very in tune. So I felt it too from them, you know, and you could just, the way one dog was acting towards me when another person arrived that worked there, total different energy. So you could feel it. So, I mean, if you want to volunteer at a shelter and you have love for animals, it's almost like a kid that's in foster. You want to go and give that kid love, show them love so that they don't lose hope. Same thing with dogs. Go there, give love, foster a dog with love, show them that there's hope. Because a lot of them, if you look in their eyes, they lose hope. And you could see there's no life left in them. And you want to they could get that life back right away. You just got to give them love. So people should really dedicate just some time. Everyone has time right now. Nobody's doing anything. You're sitting down at home. Go visit a shelter. Go work at a shelter. Go foster a dog that really needs it, though. Not like a puppy that's coming in, is happy. I mean, they need it too, but like an older dog even. Give them that time. Give them that dedication that they need so that they can have hope to really continue.
Well, there has been an increase in adoptions, though,
which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's very happy about it. I am too. But that's what I always do in my interview process is the first question I ask is, let's say life is to go back to completely normal tomorrow. Do you have time for this animal, for your kid? And a lot of them and I could read it. They're like, you know, I go back to work and I work in the city, but I live in Jersey, so I'm gone for 9 hours of the day, this and that. And you could see the weariness in their eyes that they're not going to have time for the dog. So that it does make me nervous that you're going to see an even bigger number of dogs back in the shelters, which I really, knock on wood, I really hope not. But it definitely makes me nervous.
Well, you know, I think that the landscape for employment will change, though, and people will be more able to work from home.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
for the dogs, I really hope so.
Yeah, I think that will be one of the better things. I mean, you know, my little girl gets to have me, you know, and she gets to go to work with me when I have to go to my studio. But other than that, right?
Lucky.
So is there anything else you'd like to talk about or tell people how they can help you out with what you're doing? And
I mean, if you want to go to our website, we have little products up that you could buy for like $5, $10, and it's a donation, because even every dollar counts, because I mean, it doesn't even make a dent, but it definitely helps us get all these animals over here. If you have time and you have love for animals and you want to foster, we always need new fosters to help us with the dogs.
Yeah.
Because so many come in. Yes, tell them. Tell us. Speak about it. Oh.
You want to come up?
And I mean, just spreading the word about animals helps us, you know? She's a big baby.
Baby Lulu's here,
Hi,
guys.
baby.
I know, baby. You want to be here with Dad, right? Oh, I'm knocking off my headset. Good job.
Oh,
This is what she wanted.
That's all she
She was
wants.
away from Dad too long.
Hi, honey. Aw. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, just spreading the word, giving love. Go visit your shelter. Go visit, a rescue. Do what you can. Not just our rescue. I mean, any rescue, any shelter. Go visit a dog. Give them love. Give them all your time that you can. They need it. Visit our website. We have tons of rescues that need homes still, that are in Antigua right now, and they're coming over soon. So,
All right.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, Chantalle, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And I know Lulu appreciates your efforts. Right, baby?
Lulu. Oh.
Last chance, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we'll pull them up. We'll answer them right now live. You got about 30 seconds, but yeah.
All right. Other than that, you got anything else that you want to promote?
This is perfect. Yes, animals are everything. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
It's our pleasure, right, Lulu?
Thank you, Lulu.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in today, and of course, thank you to our guests, and of course, Dougie Fresh Friedman for running the show here, and Lulu as our special guest.
Thank you.
And this is Master Phil signing off with Master Phil in your corner. Strength and honor. Woo!
Oh yeah.
I'll take a no for the answer.